ever, ever be basic for nobody. Honey, shine bright. Let them burn.
Get your car and you'll leave to kiss me. We'll talk for hours and lie on the backseat. You spent the night in a hospital bed 'cause you cut.
I'm going back and forth, yeah, only done it once before. I hit the road in the fall to the Euro shore. I'll be in Germany, Netherlands, and some more. London and Paris, and then back, of course, to the States. First time that I tour this place. Chicago, coast to coast, I'm on my way. You gotta get your tickets now, they're going fast away, 'cause you don't wanna miss out, got no time to waste, yeah. Woo!
Listen to me. Wasn't it you who invited me? The silk is too fragile to be a threat.
One of these is painted with gouache and the other with poster colour, but what's the difference? Well, not much. In my experience, poster colour is a little more coarse. This means it's a little more opaque, it blends smoother, and if you thin it down to watercolour consistency, it granulates, making some really cool effects. I love to paint with either, but if you're struggling with gouache, you might enjoy giving poster colour a go instead. The only way to get better at something is by doing it and making mistakes. Being a skilled artist is an outcome, but learning to paint is a process. To be a happy artist, you need to love the process. This is how you're going to spend your time, and your satisfaction and feelings of accomplishment shouldn't hinge on how much you like the finished painting. If you've picked up your brush to paint, it's already a good day.
彼女に落書きされた結果
show you real quick how I paint these little round leafy plants. We'll start off with the basic oval shapes in a middle green colour. Group these together in a little cluster. This is best done over a darker green background. Then we can add little shadows where the shapes overlap. I've added Prussian blue to my green here for this colour, and I'm just picking out the bits of the leaves that are tucked under others. Then we can add highlights. I do this with a watery white mix so it dries a little paler and more subtle, but I'll build it up in a couple of layers to define the leaf shapes. Then I'll take a clean damp brush to just soften the edges of my highlights a little. When all your other grasses and plants are done, these little leafy things will fit right in.
Drawing shadows can be a bit tricky, but this technique makes it easier and all you need is loads of triangles. Once we know where the light's coming from, we can trace a straight line down to the ground beneath it. This is where all the shadows will point back to, so we're going to put a vanishing point here. Then we can trace out some triangles, following a line from the sun, past each important point on the giraffe, and seeing where it reaches the ground. Once we've got those mapped out, it's just a case of filling in the rest to match the pose of the giraffe into the shadow. If we move the light source a little bit lower, we can see the impact this has on our triangles, as the shapes of these shadows stretch out further and further as the sun goes down. Wherever you put your light source, even if it's out of the frame, just imagine a line connecting it straight down to the ground and the triangles will lead the way. All glory to the triangles!
If you don't know how to use layers to add light and shadow to your characters, this video is for you. I'm gonna show you how to make your characters look like this with only 5 layers. The first layer is the most essential one, and it is a shadow layer in Multiply. This one is absolutely necessary to make your character feel 3D, so don't skip it. The second one is for the highlights, and this one I like to put it in linear dodge. It really helps, especially with the metal parts. The third one is a kick light, and this one I like to use in screen mode. This one is to bring some light in the shadow side of your character. And then one of my favorites, and this one is the overlay. This one helps to add some saturation and some light direction to your character. And even though this one is optional, the overpaints in normal mode are always a good idea to give your character those final touches. And if you like the brushes and textures that I use for these illustrations, all of them are part of my pack, the LP halftones, and you can find them in my links.
Fuck you later.
You can draw this tree with simple steps. We don't need to draw leaves one by one. Start by sketching a big circle to simplify the tree's form. Follow the shape letter Y to draw the tree trunk. Break down the form by drawing some circles. Each circle is one collection of leaves. Roughly go over each circle with squiggly lines to create organic shapes. Grab a pen to draw these marks to mimic the shape of the tree leaves. Avoid making them too repetitive. Try to vary the size and density. Draw a simple background and rocks around. Choose a light source. Here the light source is coming from the upper left. Grab your markers. Begin by using the lightest color to fill in the tree. Start with light pressure and draw fast to create a lighter shade. Next, increase the pressure and layer more ink on the lower right side of each clump. We don't need to worry about adding details to the background. Draw some strokes like this to add texture. Use darker shade of green to add darker values to increase depth. Use a third shade of green to enhance the contrast between the light and dark values. Draw some diagonal strokes for the grass around. Now you have a nice tree.
you.